Spartan races are a relatively new sport, so the training and preparation that goes into it is still pretty unknown. As someone who has trained for Ninja Warrior for 6 years, I look towards established trainers to see if what they do can apply to the sport of obstacles. Today I'm going to do ThenX's 100 pull-up workout to see how well it can prepare you for obstacle courses. Anyone can make a 100 rep workout that's going to be challenging, but is it actually beneficial? That's the question I'm looking to answer. If you're new here, my name is Mike, and on this channel I go over the specific details that it takes to improve as an athlete. Lately, we've been talking about pulling strength, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the ThenX workout. I started off with my usual warm-up. That'll be linked in the description below, but the actual workout began with 10 regular pull-ups. Starting off, not that bad, just doing a couple pull-ups. I discovered ThenX when I started getting into Ninja Warrior, and I really started to get into the training and try and figure out how to actually improve my pulling strength. I learned how to muscle up through their videos. I learned how to do my first one-arm pull-up through their videos. I've learned a ton from them, but I've never actually done one of their full workouts, so it was good to finally do one of those as a follow-along. The next step was 10 reps of chin-ups. The one thing that I noticed almost immediately was that there was basically no rest in between the different exercises. So while I felt pretty good, I definitely figured that was going to catch up pretty quickly with me. And I think that's kind of what I'm realizing right now. These I wasn't really sure how long to hold for, so I kind of just did like a quick little switch. I did also do this after a one-arm pull-up workout. I am doing this on my last week of my one-arm pull-up training cycle, so I was a little fatigued at this point. I also don't know if I counted right, so I guess as I edit this video, I'm going to actually figure out if I did count right, because I did not count as I was doing this voiceover. The next one was close grip pull-ups. The one thing that I really did like about this workout is that it's got a wide variety of different pull-ups. Obviously, there's 10 different variations, but I almost never do anything other than regular pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, or one-arms. And this is definitely where it started to catch up to me. I had to pause the video right here just to take a couple extra seconds. I'm 30 something pull-ups into this at this point. Now 40 pull-ups into it, and it's been like 3 minutes, so the pace it's hot. The next one is going to be the same thing. It's close grip chin-ups, so it's good to work those biceps as well. Again, almost no rest. You can see that I'm just like dying over here. Just like, all right, let's pause it again. The thing about using this for OCR training is that in an OCR race, you're never gonna have to do this much pulling. So if you are able to get through a workout like this, it's gonna be excellent preparation. So at this point, I realized that I'm taking way too much rest, and I think that I'm not getting the intended stimuli that ThenX is trying to provide. I went and grabbed a resistance band so that I can continue to try and keep up with Chris Heria and his pace, but do it at a lighter load. And so I grabbed the lightest band because basically my thought process was, let me try and continue. And if I need to grab another band, I can just do that again. But let me not take a whole lot of assistance. Let me just take the minimum amount. So even this, I'm still struggling to get the rest of the 10 reps. These are really good. What I liked about the placement of this is that this is now, 50 reps into it. So you're now doing an explosive movement after doing a whole bunch of pull-ups. So you're doing an explosive movement under fatigue, which is really good to train that way. It's not the way that you typically want to train power, but if you're doing something like Spartan Races or you're doing like Ninja Warrior, it's really good to occasionally be training your power under fatigue. These, I hope I did right. It's so funny watching failed reps. It just looks so pathetic when you like make it like halfway and you know that you're just like trying as hard as you could have. So at this moment, I'm like, all right, this band is once again not doing enough. So now let me jump to the next band. This is sort of what Chris Heria says at the beginning of his video. He says that if you're going to be doing this and you can't complete the reps, just move down to a lower progression. In his video, he talks about doing jumping pull-ups and doing Australian pull-ups. I think that if you're at the point where you can do a lot of the reps at body weight, you should probably be using a band instead of jumping pull-ups. I'm not a huge fan of jumping pull-ups to begin with, but I'll talk about that more at the end of this. This was a very humbling workout, if anything. You can just see the frustration in my face every time I have to pause the video. Just like, come on. I only have a little over 20 reps to go at this point. A workout like this is super good for obstacle course races, even though it's it's such high volume and it's super intense. But if you can have really strong pulling strength, it's going to make obstacles so much easier. You do need a very high level of technique when you're doing obstacle course races, especially if you're doing like Ninja Warrior. You need to just practice technique. But if you're doing like Spartan Races or other OCR events like Tough Mudder or something like that, you can really get away with a lot by just having really strong pulling muscles. You will get even more benefit out if you also have the technique, but a really good foundation is doing a workout like this where you increase your pulling strength. I was not a huge fan of the last 20 reps, which is the half pull-ups, the top half of the pull-up and the bottom half of the pull-up. I get it at the end because you're just like, you're so fried, but I don't know, it just felt weird. I felt like I was cheating, you know? Couldn't even pull a quarter of the way up on that one. Ugh. All right, let's fast forward again. Whew. So, as you saw there, that workout kicked my ass. Yeah, that was a brutal workout. It was definitely a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be, and I did assume that it was going to be pretty hard. Bringing back to the title of this video, is this a good workout for OCR events? And I'm going to say yes and no. I'm going to lean more towards yes for sure. I think that this workout is a really good strength and conditioning workout, but with a few caveats. So let's go into 2 reasons why I really like it and 2 gripes that I have with this workout. First reason why I really like this workout is that it's high volume training. I love, love, love high volume training. I think it's so important for leveling up your progress. I have a video coming out next week that's going to talk all about the benefits of high volume training, so stay tuned for that. But basically doing training like this is going to be super important for just taking your pulling strength to the next level. Doing, weighted pull-ups is really great. Doing like harder variations of pull-ups is really great. But if you can do a ton of reps at what I call like your working weight, you're going to level up like crazy. So I'm a huge fan of that aspect of this workout. The second reason that I really like this workout is because it is a wide variety of pull-ups. In OCR events, you're going to see a lot of different kind of grips and holds that you have to hold on to between rings and ropes and rock climbing holds. They're all fairly similar and they're all using your pulling muscles, but they're using different variations of it. And so working different variations of pull-ups is going to be hugely beneficial to prepare for that. One of the issues that I did have with this workout is that there was not enough rest in my mind. I will say that if you can do this workout and keep up at his pace with that rest, like you don't even need to work pulling anymore for OCR events. Like that's way more than you will ever need for a Spartan race. I think the majority of people probably need a little more rest. I definitely need a little more rest, and maybe I'm projecting, but yeah, I thought he took like 20 to 25 seconds rest in between each, and it was crazy. I just could not keep up at all. What I do really like about this workout is that I think it's a great benchmark workout. So you could time the amount of time that it takes you to complete the entire thing. And what you can do is over the course of a season or over the course of some sort of like training cycle, you can try and reduce that time. So what I would probably suggest is starting off, maybe take like a minute to a minute and a half rest in between each exercise, and know that this workout is probably going to take you closer to like 15 or 20 minutes. But then each time you do this workout, maybe drop the rest time by like 5 or 10 seconds and slowly try and work closer and closer to the amount of rest that Chris Heria ends up taking, which is basically no rest. But like I said, it's a really good benchmark workout. It's a really good test to see where your fitness is at. So you can see like, oh, I can only complete this workout with a minute and a half rest right now, but maybe by the end of the season, I can complete it with 45 seconds of rest in between. My second gripe with the workout is the levels that Chris Heria provides. So he talks about 3 levels in his video. The first is Australian pull-ups. The second is jumping pull-ups, and the third is bodyweight pull-ups. I actually have no issue with the first and the third level. I think Australian pull-ups and bodyweight pull-ups, like those are the 2 ends of the spectrum that are perfect. It's the jumping pull-ups that I sort of take issue with, and it's nothing bad. It's just some of the workouts don't really have a jumping variation, like especially the explosive ones where you go between wide and close grip. I don't really know what the explosive version of that would be, and I think it just kind of like gets awkward and hard. So I think that it makes more sense if you're able to complete most of the reps at body weight that you would just use a band instead. And I would probably suggest do similar to what I did, which is have a couple of bands handy nearby where as soon as you get fatigued on body weight, you could just throw one band over and then continue at the same pace, just using a little more assistance. But other than that, I thought it was a really fantastic workout. Like I said, I thought it was a really good test, and I think this is a really good benchmark to use throughout your season. So I probably wouldn't do this super frequently. I would probably do it like maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks, just to like kind of gauge where my fitness is at. But that's pretty much all I have for you this week. If you want to see why I think volume training is so important and how it can level up your fitness, make sure to check out this video over here.